Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the program as we explore the updates beyond 100 days of this administration. Let's begin with breaking news. Well, we're hearing now that the president has nominated and approved the nomination of Dr. Olayemi Michael Cardoso to serve as the new governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria for a term of 5 years at the first instance, pending his confirmation by the Nigerian Senate. And this directive is in conformity of Section 8, subsection 1 of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act of 2007, which vests in Mr. President the authority to appoint the governor and 4 deputy governors of the CBN, subject to confirmation by the Senate. Recall that weeks ago, the former CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, was suspended and is currently answering some questions with the DSS. Now, let's turn our attention back to Lagos, where the university management of the University of Lagos seem to have agreed to a downward review of school and hostel fees. The decision is coming after a meeting between the management and leadership of the National Association of Nigerian Students and the university faculty president. The student leaders requested a reversal of the hike in school fees as well as accommodation charges and the reinstatement of the student union in the university. While it agreed to an immediate reduction in fees to end the face-off between the management and students of the university, the school authorities promised to begin work where the return of students' union is concerned. I'm joined now by spokesperson, Student Solidarity Group Against Fee Hike, Femi Adeyeye, who joins us live on the program. Femi Adeyeye, thank you for joining us on Beyond 100 Days. What played out at the meeting last night, particularly the specifics of the downward review?
All right. Thank you very much for having me. Let me state categorically that the student solidarity group against fee hike was not part of the meeting. And our reasons were very clear. When we met with the management on the 2nd of August 2023, we make some recommendations. The first one is that the fee should be reverted immediately because that decision was not a democratic decision. It is not logical and it is economically inconsiderate. And adding to that was that we asked that the joint committee that would have all stakeholders on campus should be put together to then look at every aspect of the financing of the university, to look at the new fee and to also suggest come up with a report at the end of its findings if anything would come up. So what happened yesterday was a meeting between leadership and faculty president. And until this minute, these persons have not reported back to the students they claim they represent. In a democratic setting, what is expected is that when student leaders meet like that, they would revert, or make recourse to the students. And these students then in the Democratic Congress will then determine what happens to the fee.
So Femi, let me butt in quickly.
Or a reversal.
Are you saying that
so they don't make,
as at now, students do not have an idea of the outcome of that meeting and the percentage of reduction specifically that we're talking about?
No, they do, because at least there's an official announcement from the university, and several of these student leaders have also posted it on their WhatsApp status. But what we're saying is that is not how it is done. That's not the ideal way of addressing issues like this. The student leaders are expected to report to the students, and the students in a congress would either accept the downward review or continue with the struggle, which is actually towards the total reversal of status quo, and not a reduction by 20,000 naira or 5,000 naira or 3,000 naira. But agreeing at a meeting, on the spot is undemocratic, and it is not ideal for a 21st century, leader. And those are the issues that we're presently having with some of them. But we as a student solidarity group against the have made it clear that in this struggle we teach a lot of persons.
All right. So I'm going to ask you precisely how satisfied you are with the outcome, but let's hear from the Vice Chancellor herself as regards the position of the school management on this.
For returning students, we've taken out about 20,000 we've taken out 20,000 across board for all fees. So the returning students will be paying about 80, as against the 100,000 before, which is per annum. Those with lab will be paying 120 as against 140. And those in the medical field will be paying 170 as against 190. We also took a little bit out of the utilities. It will hurt us because our bills are high, but we also recognize the prevailing circumstances. And so this is a concession to the prevailing circumstances, because when we fixed all these bills, that was before subsidy removal. And since then, it's very clear that things are not getting better. So we also took a little bit out of the utility bills, which from 20 to 15. I think we took 3,000 from the convocation bills. For the incoming students, we took we took out 10,000 each, because really when we fixed these bills, it was based on data.
Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos there. So you heard us say 20,000, 10,000 for some students. I spoke with the Minister of Education earlier, who mentioned that there is need for both parties to meet at the middle, considering the current economic situation. Are you saying that the Student Solidarity Group isn't satisfied with this decision?
Yes, we as a group of students, and it is not just a group, it's a group that is also democratic, which is a group that is relating with students to get their opinions on issues. We disagree. And this is the point upon which we disagree. Number one, this economic reality we all keep mounting was not caused by the poor students and their poor parents. The government has, defunded, they've been doing it already, but presently what you're doing is now to commercialize totally and privatize these universities. And they are saying we are not funding you anymore, so go inwards and look for anything you can commercialize, anything you can increase and fund yourself. That is what they are saying. But what we are saying is that should not be the position of the government on public education in a country where you have 133 million people living in multidimensional poverty, where you have 50% youth unemployment rate, where you have 33% unemployment rate, where the minimum wage is 30,000. A country where you have the minimum wage at 30,000 does not have any business in hiking fees to 200,000. It is a crime against humanity. So those are our points of disagreement.
I hear you.
And so when the Vice Chancellor sits there and starts, canceling out 20,000,
I hear you, Femi Adeyeye. Probably we're going to
anything. It has not changed anything. I thought there's no middle ground anybody is going to stand on this issue until fees, first of all, must be reverted. The financing that also comes to the university must be looked at. Despite the fact that the government is not funding, how much is even getting to the university and how much is being spent?
I hear you, Femi Adeyeye. I'm afraid that's our time. We possibly are going to follow up with this story and also find out what the alternatives are for the Student Solidarity Group, particularly now that the student leadership in schools seem to have agreed with the position of the university management. Spokesperson, Student Solidarity Group, Femi Adeyeye, thank you for talking to us.